Ojineka is here. Joining us now with stories trending around the world. Hello, G.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Yes, how are you? I
Good.
like this, your... Okay, comments later.
No, go ahead. It's called Polka Dot. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you. How are you?
You look great.
How was your weekend?
Fine. Yeah, 20.
Fantastic. Good morning, Tundu.
Morning, Oji.
How are you, Victoria?
I'm great.
We're matching today. Good morning, Rufai. How are you?
Oji, you know the song we're singing on Fridays?
Yes.
Oji, Nika, Pepe.
You're not doing that. How are
Thank
you?
you so much for making me have a blast. I've never had a good time like that in a while. Thank you.
I am glad.
Oji, you are the real G.
I am glad. You too, Rufai. All right. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In the United States, the story of Mike Wimmer, a 12-year-old North Carolina boy who's set to graduate from high school and college in the same week after using his downtime during the pandemic to take on a few extra classes in school, has made the rounds. And hundreds of mourners paid their respect to Andrew Brown Jr., a North Carolina man whose shooting at the hands of sheriff's deputies triggered a wave of protests. In Myanmar, security forces opened fire on some of the biggest protests against the military rule over the weekend, killing 8 people. The protest, tagged the Global Myanmar Spring Revolution, according to organizers, aims at shaking the world. In India, a video of a 22-year-old man, Amnal Goyal, crying after the police allegedly took the oxygen cylinder from his mother's hospital bed to give to a VIP, has gone viral. His mother died just 2 hours after the incident. And a 4-astronaut team aboard the SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule Endeavour splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico after a 6-month stay on the International Space Station. The crew were the first to be sent into orbit by a rocket booster that was recycled from a previous flight. In Nigeria, Mwando Fina Opaleke makes history as the first female pilot to land a plane at the newly inaugurated Anambra International Airport. Under sports, the Golden State Warriors found a special way to remember Gianna Bryant, who died in a helicopter crash along with her father, NBA legend Kobe Bryant. Before the Warriors game against Houston Rockets over the weekend, the team was photographed wearing items from a new collection of apparel in honor of Gianna's 15th posthumous birthday. Finally, under entertainment, Hollywood pays tribute to actress and Oscar winner Olympia DUKAKIS, who died last Saturday at the age of 89 after many months of failing health. DUKAKIS was best known for her role as Clary Bletcher in Still Magnolias and Moonstruck, for which she received an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress.
Here! Hit this! Go ahead, Malin! Slap her! Are you crazy? Hit her! Are you high, Clary?
Clary, have you lost your mind?
We'll sell t-shirts saying I slapped Weezer Boudreaux. Hit her!
Miss Clary, enough!
Weezer, this is your chance to do something for your fellow man. Knock her lights out, Malin!
Let go of me!
Malin, you just missed a chance of a lifetime. Half a Chickapin parish should give the eye teeth to take a whack of Weezer.
Oh, may her soul rest in peace. Let's begin what's trending by recognizing Nigeria's 17-year-old Victory Yinka Banjo, who's received 19 scholarship offers worth over $5 million from universities in the United States and Canada. Victory was a senior prefect during her time in high school and rose to national prominence in late 2020 after she scored straight A's in her West African Senior School Certificate examination. The teenager was declared world's best in English as a second language by the University of Cambridge International Examination and also aced all her subjects in the Cambridge International General Certificate of Secondary School examination. Victory, who wants to study computational biology, has said that she's still weighing her option on which school to choose, having been wooed by many prestigious institutions, including Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and St. Johns Hopkins University in the United States. Dr. Vati, I come to you on this story. I mean,
Well, it's fairly
you are
straightforward.
an academic, and I'm sure that you're very excited about the story. I mean, she is from Nigeria. I mean, we've been taking stories about these academics that come from the United States and all, but she is homegrown, and we're so proud of her.
Well, I think it's straightforward. I assume that the reason you have projected her story is to celebrate her.
Yes.
She's been featured with her mom on CNN
Yes.
and on other platforms. And I guess the biggest point in this regard is to see her as a source of inspiration.
Yes.
And we hope she will end up as a source of inspiration to many young Nigerians like her. She made a point, CNN reported about faith, parental guidance, discipline, and hard work. And these are very strong values that this young lady, was talking about, which are values that I think younger persons in our position should imbibe. Now, another important point about her case is that she is homegrown. It's not as if this is a Nigerian American who is based in the United States. She went to secondary school here, so which reiterates the point about how, in spite of whatever difficulties we may have, there are still diamonds in this Nigerian environment. They just need to be given the right opportunity, the right environment. And you shouldn't be surprised that she grew up in an academic environment. The father is a lecturer at the University of Lagos. Maybe the environment in that regard could also have helped. But this is an absolute genius, A-star in all 6 subjects in the IGCSE. I mean, that's impressive. A1 in every subject in the West African School Certificate Examination. That's fantastic. Now she has about $5 million worth of a scholarship, and she doesn't even know which one to choose out of these Ivy League schools. I mean, that's absolutely impressive. And I think that other young persons who are busy as young girls trying to use the most expensive phone in town, or buy the most expensive wig, or attend the most exotic parties, would follow the example of Victory Yinka Banjo and try to live a life dedicated to excellence and distinction.
I'm going to attempt to ask you, Dr. Bati, what you would want her to study in college.
No, it's entirely her choice.
No,
She's already said she wants to study computational biology.
Yes, she's thinking about that.
Yes, no, it's not for me to dictate.
You know the answer, correct?
No, I don't
You know the answer.
No, it's not my job to.
Anyway, Dr. Bati wants all of his children to study law.
Who said so?
I said so.
Where did you hear that from?
From you. Rufai, your take on the story?
I'm always happy when I see Nigerians do well, especially when they're homegrown.
Yes.
I mean, that shows you that amidst all of the madness going on in the country, there's still that very shining light in a lot of people, only if you dig deeply. She said something that really touched me, the role of a parent.
Right.
Parents matter. And that's why I say don't just bring any child to the world just like that if you're not ready to be a parent. Because being a parent, it's a job on its own. And you need to be very involved in the life of your child. And that matters a great deal. The difference between her and some other children out there might just be that edge. That's why we need to look after our children, and this is very instructional for all of our parents out there. Please, look after your children. Let them be the very best. Invest in them. And I pray most importantly that in these very harsh economic conditions, God will give you the money to look after them. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot of financial backbone too to be able to look after children. But what is most important is the time spent with them and the dedication that comes with being a parent. Secondly, I look forward to a day in Nigeria when Nigerian universities will retain the best of the best. We are hearing Johns Hopkins, you're hearing Harvard, you're hearing other schools like that. Why are we not hearing the likes of University of Ibadan? Why are you not hearing the likes of Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife and some other Nigerian universities? Is it that the very best of the best in Nigeria cannot stay in Nigeria University? And you all know the reason why. Because we have negated our role in impacting our university as centers of excellence. We don't invest in them properly. We don't fund them the way they should be funded. We are still fighting with their lecturers in the first place. There's a lot of attrition. Most of the lecturers are going to take up jobs in Ethiopia. And that's the problem with our university. So we need to fix our universities so that it is fit for the best. I want to see a day too where we'll have somebody that got straight A's and universities abroad are looking for, and the person too will say, I'd rather pick a University of Ibadan over at Johns Hopkins. Because Johns Hopkins didn't just grow overnight. Harvard didn't just grow overnight. Yale didn't just grow overnight. All of these universities was a result of proper funding and doing the very best for them to be able to keep the culture and tradition of learning. We still live in a country where education is still way below, where over 12 to 15 million pupils are out of school because of insurgency and insecurity. Yet we have bright stars all over Nigeria, and they should be able to attend Nigerian universities and do well. Thirdly, the role of the federal government in scholarships. Why is it that we're only hearing about big universities all around the world willing to give federal scholarship? Why is it that we don't have the Nigerian government come out, write a letter and say, you are a scholar, we want to keep you for the future, and this is how much Nigerian government want to put into your education scheme? So we need to go back and even check our scholarship scheme. Who are we giving them to? How are these people coming back to impact our economy? And fourthly, my fear is the fact that this lady will go to study computational biology in America and she might not come back home. Except if she truly loves her country and she wants to come back and impact her country. Before she leaves school, because she'll be watched as a scholar, offers will come. I know, and I'm confident of the fact that she will do well when she gets to school. Before you know it, all their scholars that do well, they'll go meet the President of America. They have a meeting with him. They meet them year in, year out. And before you know it, all the blue chip company will start to pitch to have this lady. Before you know it, she'll be absorbed into the American system. Many years down the line, she might be in an American president's cabinet, doing well for the nation of America, and that's another loss to Nigeria. Right. So how do we keep our bright stars? That's the question we should ask ourselves. By now, I don't see anything wrong in the federal government writing a letter, tracking her future, ensuring that any skill she gets come back to favor Nigeria. And it's a good choice she made, computational biology, because that's actually the future. You're wondering how do people do DNA markers to make vaccines and the likes? It's from computational biology. So I support her, would like to see her future.
Well said, Rufai. Tundu, your take on the story.
What, squeezed in? As usual, the afterthought.
Yes, no, you were never.
Right.
Okay.
I want to, first of all, congratulate the prophetically named Victory. She's clearly a really impressive human being, yes, especially in spite of all her, vast talents, being so self-deprecating, because she, like you said, listed a whole bunch of factors that contributed to her success and did not mention her innate giftedness, which she clearly has. She was also saying she didn't expect any school to actually admit her, which clearly they all are rushing to, falling all over themselves to. And she's also giving back by tutoring others. So for me, she's a role model, not just to young women, also to young men, also to middle-aged women and men. We can all take inspiration and encouragement from this kind of achievement from a Nigerian girl. This is one of those roses that grows through concrete and just goes to remind us that really anything is possible. She's amazing.
Yes, we all love Victory. She's been victorious, and we are so proud of her. Congratulations, Victory, and to Nigeria. We're going to go on a short break now, and when we come back, What's Trending on the Morning Show will continue. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Morning Show. We're still on What's Trending. Activist and author Reno Omokri has written an open letter to Pope Francis asking him to investigate Nigerian Reverend Father Ejike Mbaka, who's been trending on social media over his controversial views on the Buhari administration. Father Mbaka, who has been an avid advocate for President Muhammadu Buhari last week, called for his resignation over the worsening spate of insecurity in the nation. Following Father Mbaka's call, the president's media aide, Garba Shehu, released a statement alleging that Father Mbaka's sudden U-turn against the Buhari administration was due to Buhari's refusal to issue contracts as compensation for the Reverend's support. Reno Omokri, in a series of tweets, which has generated mixed reactions, accused Father Mbaka of dabbling into politics and bringing shame on the Catholic Church. Tundu, I'm coming straight to you on this story. I mean, this story has been trending for over a week. I think that Reno is in his right anyways to write the letter to the Pope. But I also am of the opinion that, people can say whatever they want to say when it concerns their country now. But my biggest issue with this whole story is Garba Shehu's statement. I mean, your thought on the story.
Wasn't that completely bizarre? I mean, I read the statement and I was wondering why is it ending here? I was waiting for the relevance of all of this to the allegations that he actually made. Whether or not he went to try and get contracts and what have you, I don't think most Nigerians care about that. We want to know the meat of the matter. And I would have preferred for Malam Shehu to address that. But I suppose that was his attempt to embarrass Father Mbaka and cast aspersions on him, and also to show that his motives were not altruistic, that his motives was to do with vindictiveness. You didn't get any kind of pecuniary advantage, so you go and throw a tantrum and make the statements. I think that's what that was. But I find the whole situation completely tawdry and completely beneath the dignity of a Catholic priest. So it's with Reno Omokri going to write to the Pope. Well, I wouldn't hold my breath if I was Reno Omokri expecting the Pope to intervene. The Catholic Secretariat closer to home here in Nigeria has sanctioned Father Mbaka before. You recall, he was transferred once. At some point, he was told that he would be stopped from preaching because of his dabbling into politics, because it does affect the image of the Catholic Church, in the respect that they're supposed to really be above the fray, respected. So he has been sanctioned. So I do feel that the Nigerian Catholics are able and willing to bring him under control and bring him to heel. I don't think it needs to go as far as the Vatican.
Yeah, disgracing the Catholic Church. But I guess the latest on this story is that Father Mbaka has admitted that he did go and ask for contracts from the Buhari administration.
Yes, he said they're childish to bring it up.
Let's start from the Reno Omokri end. And here I would like to differ slightly from Tundu, that the Catholic Church in Nigeria has already, or had already in the past, sanctioned Father Mbaka. You recall that, you were referring to incident in 2016, shortly after the presidential election, when he was transferred from the main church in Enugu, and he was taken to the Our Lady Rosary, church in MNA. And he came out very emotional at the time and said, he was going to suffer, that all the assets of the adoration ministry that he had put together would suffer because he was transferred. Now, the church at that time, one Emmanuel Achi, I think that was his name, the director of communications, came forward to say he was not being punished. Adoration ministry is his private project, where he does a combination of Christianity and a cross between faith healing and shamanism, whatever that is, So, but that as a priest under the Catholic Church, he could be sent anywhere to deliver his responsibilities under the oath that he's sworn to. Now, so I think that the Catholic Church, in fact, had been overindulging him. There is a Catholic Bishops' Conference. There is the Diocese of Enugu, under which he serves. And there is a bishop in every area. And the bishop, under the canon law, the relevant law in the Catholic Church is the Code of Canon Law. The bishop has the responsibility to punish, to suspend, to, deal with any priest that is delinquent. And, there are two kinds of delinquency. Either it's civil or it is ecclesiastical. If it is ecclesiastical, it has to be a very serious, grievous offense, what they call gravia delicta. And if that is the case, the person to go to is not the Pope. The Pope doesn't interfere in day-to-day issues. If the Pope is the last stop, by the time he gets to the Pope, maybe you are going to be dismissed. He goes to the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith. And it's the Congregation of the Doctrine of Faith that will act on the basis of the report from the local church. But, okay, maybe, what's his name? Reno Omokri is not a Catholic. But what he has done is to draw global attention and the attention of the Vatican to an issue that is happening with their fiery, controversial, hyperactive priests in the Enugu zone of the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Bishops' Conference should deal with it first. The Bishop of the Enugu Diocese should deal with the matter first. And as for Garuba Shehu, most Nigerians have a sense of entitlement. Who knows? From the adoration ministry that he runs, maybe the priest is actually a contractor, in Ghana. You recall when in 2019, he told former Governor Peter Obi that he was a stingy man who did not want to give money to God. And if he did not give the adoration ministry money, he and Atiku will end in shame. So they have to restrain their priest. I've written 2, 3, 4 articles on him in the past. I may be tempted to write on him again.
And it depends that you might be.
Rufai, before I come to you, we'll take our final story. The hashtag Justice for Hini Umoren was trending over the weekend after a Twitter user raised alarm about her missing friend. Ini Obong Umoren, who was later found dead and buried in a shallow grave in Akwa Ibom State. The police on Sunday announced that they had arrested the woman's killer, one Udwak Akman, who they claimed confessed to luring her into his house in the guise of giving her a job. The suspect was also quoted to have said that he sexually and physically assaulted her before killing her. Umoren had posted an ad via Twitter seeking for a job before ending up in her killer's house. Well, here is what the police had to say about the case.
Sexual assault issue, and then it resulted to physical assault when she resisted, and then he felt, look, in fact, she used, he said she used a weapon. By that I mean she used an object on him first, so she now used it back on him, and that was what, so that's it. It's not as if no part of her has been dismembered.
Rufai, this is such a sad, sad story.
There's an assault on women in general in this country. Friday, we talked about Babajesha's case. Today, we're talking about another one. He raped her, sexual assault, and he went ahead to kill her. You remember the case of Cynthia a couple of years ago?
Yes.
Same on social media. I think something has to be done. I think the laws have to be stronger. This guy must face the full wrath of the law. The police must make them. He's confessed anyway. He should have his day in court, but we should clamp down on this,
well,
because we can't run a society
have the countdown
like this.
Well, thank you very much, Ojinika. We'll see you again tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Oji.
Yeah, thank you.